In eastern Paris on Saturday, April 20th, violent protests and riots erupted among Afghan migrants, following the deaths of 3 migrants in a suspected murder-suicide case. The protests were organized by the Afghan community. The police had to intervene to restore calm, and 4 people were arrested. I'm here with Helena de la Zone, columnist at the European Conservative and Paris correspondent for the European Conservative. Welcome to Rick's Europe.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Could you give us a brief introduction about these riots that took place in Paris on the 20th of April?
In fact, originally everything started because of a very strange and sordid affair that happened 2 weeks ago, almost 3 now, a murder right in the center of Paris, involved. And it appears that they were Afghan people, and so there was a kind of a brawl in an apartment, and the guy who was renting the apartment killed 2 of his guests, and then he tried to erase the crime by setting a fire in his apartment. And then, of course, he couldn't master the flame, and he had to flee, and it went through the window, and he died. So 3 people died in this affair. And it appears that they were Afghan refugees, and the police realized that something wasn't very clear about the situation of these people, what was their work, what was their relationship between the three men. It's still very dark, and there is an investigation which is still in progress, but we don't know the motives behind this terrible affair, this fire, and these 3 deaths. In any case, a demonstration happened on the 20th of April, so almost 2 weeks after the murders, and it was organized by the Afghan community in Paris. And we do not know yet what was exactly the motive of the demonstration. Was it the kind of support to the families? But it appears that the victims were rather isolated. Some rumors on social media said that some Afghan people thought that the death of these 3 men was the responsibility of the police, which is, of course, wrong, and the situation worsened, and we saw very violent scene right in the center of Paris, with city furniture burnt and smoke everywhere, and people shouting, "Wait!" So something rather distressing, of course, for the neighborhood, with a communitarist aspect, because they were only Afghan people, and without any possibility to understand what was really going on.
What factors do they say contribute to the fact that there was such an escalation of violence during this rally?
It seems that there were tensions again among the Afghan community, but for motives that are still very dark. Perhaps people trying to show their angriness. Perhaps some people contesting the police, or perhaps just the need to express their distress by destroying things. And in fact, there is the reaction of some people in the political class, some right-wing politicians, was to say, well, we are confronted to communities that are used to violence in their culture, in their way of expressing their feelings, their discontent, etc. And they are exporting this violence in Paris. A few years ago, it would have been unthinkable to see such scenes in the streets, but we are getting used to a form of banalized violence, because it's the modus vivendi of these communities.
It's to my understanding also that there was a lack of coverage in mainstream media regarding this happening. What does this say about media bias and the shaping of public perception and understanding of events like this?
Yeah, you're right. In fact, there are two scandals in one. The first one, of course, is this outburst of violence in the center of Paris by a community with apparently not very integrated national French community. But the second scandal is the fact that almost nobody in the French press talked about it. And we are, 3 months before the Olympic Games, as you know, and it's very worrying to consider that you can have such demonstrations of violence right in the center of Paris. And the only men shot the scene with their cell phones and posted it on social media, especially next. And myself, when I wanted to write a report for the European Conservative about that, I had heard about that because I live in Paris. But searching for Afghan riots in Google News, for example, you could only find some information about the murder that took place 2 weeks. They were mentioned that there was a problem, a fire, but blackout concerning the riots and the demonstrations. And some video went viral on French X accounts, and that's how we happened to discover what had happened. But for French people who are not on social media, who just listen to mainstream media, it was impossible to know what happened. Fortunately, some people from the right-wing French political class, in fact, namely the Rassemblement National and Reconquête, which are the two main French parties of the national right, they posted some videos and gave some visibility to what happened. And they emphasized the aspect of, I would say, communitarist logic behind these violence. We have to mention the fact that there are also some Les Républicains, which is the center-right, main center-right French party, who also mentioned the fact. So, but apart from that, nobody wanted to react to this violence.
Thank you, Helena Delazon, columnist at the European Conservative and Paris correspondent for the European Conservative, for being here today.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And thank you for watching RIX Europe.